Pick up here. Ready? Oh, only Ali, huh? Every day Ali. Okay.
Dạ nghe.
Okay. For interpretation is okay, huh? Okay, okay. Now ready. Right? Ready? All the microphones okay now? Okay, now we will pay homage to the Buddha. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Okay, today we are going to talk about Rupa. Then according to Buddha's teaching, this body is made of small particles. So all these particles will arise and perish very rapidly. Then within one finger snaps, million times of Rupa Kalabas can arise and pass away. So this is the nature of the body. Then every single particles, they are also materialities. So when we are going to talk about materialities, now we must not forget to talk about four elements. So we have four great elements. We also call Mahabhuta. Patavi Dhatu, Earth element, Abo Dhatu, water element, Tejo Dhatu, fire element, and Vayu Dhatu, one element. So altogether we have four elements. So we have to introduce one by one. Earth element. We have the nature of earth element, such as hardness, roughness, heaviness. So these are the nature of earth element. The opposite of these three, we also have softness, smoothness, and lightness. Altogether, there are 6 characteristics of earth element. Then, actually, the earth element is also the foundations of all other materialities. As the planet Earth is ground for all the living beings, plants and trees. Similarly, earth element is the foundations of all other elements and all other materialities. There will be some conditions. For example, if there is a hardness, there cannot be softness, because these two are opposite. Similarly, if there is a heaviness, there cannot be lightness. If there is a roughness, there cannot be smoothness. These are opposite. So when we are going to practice 4-element meditation, we have to start with these elements, this characteristic one by one. But in our traditional teaching, we start from easier to difficult one. Then we also have to reorder according to the Buddha teaching. For example, hardness. In any part of our body, there's a hardness. For example, when we touch our teeth, if we cleanse our teeth, we can also feel hardness. Not only that, if we touch our fingernail, each other also, we can feel hardness. Actually, there are hardness everywhere in our body. Then similarly, roughness. If we rough our teeth with our tongue, we can feel roughness. We can also feel roughness everywhere in our body if we carefully pay attention to the body. Similarly, heaviness. Of course, if we pay attention to your lower body part, you can feel heaviness naturally because upper body part pressed. We can feel heavy. Then, similarly, opposite to that, there will be softness, smoothness, lightness. These are the nature of earth element. Similarly, for about water element. Water element is a flowing or cohesion. Then we can also understand another way. Flowing means it will spread all over the body. Another thing is cohesion. We can also understand like a solidity. Then, if we say easier way, the water elements can bind many materiality together. Okay, we should say easier way. Then you may have rice pounder. If you want to make rice pounder ball, you have to sparkle water. If water reach every single pounder, then it becomes solid. If there is some part water cannot reach, it will remain the pounder. That means spread everywhere, it becomes solid, flowing and in cohesion, working together. That is the nature of water element. We can also say another way, the water element will hold all other materiality together. Then it will make form, holding together. Then we also have fire element. The nature of fire element has only two, heat and cold. Mostly when we talk about fire, we understand heat. But in Abhidhamma, we have two types of fire elements. Sita Dejo, cold fire, Una Dejo, heat fire. So these two will make our materiality ripe or mature. Then it also can make all the materiality soften or mature. You can also imagine very hot material, like for example, some of the bowl, or maybe some of the leaf or something. If you cook very long time, it becomes soft. Of course, we have to put some other material also there, right? Then this is the nature of fire elements. It can make soft. Not only that, it also can make mature. For example, now our body become older and older. This is also the power of fire element. So we also have body heat. Sun and body become very cold also, right? So these are also called fire element. Now we can also say another way, it will make the body transform or decay. That's also the nature of fire element. And now we have the last one. One element. One element has two characteristics. This is supporting and then pushing. Okay, now when we are sitting, supporting will be very obvious in the body. Lower body part support upper body part, not to fall down, not to collapse. Upper body part also support lower body parts to be stable. Then when we talk about supporting, we also have one simile. If a house is going to fall down, then we will use many pole or bamboo or anything to support the house, not to collapse or not to fall down. Similarly, one element supports all the materialities in the body, not to fall down. If there's no supporting, now we cannot sit, we cannot stand, we cannot walk. But when we are walking, pushing will be more predominant. Because of pushing, we can move. So these are the nature of four elements. So these four elements will arise together, then they will perish together. In every single small particles, then these four elements will arise. Actually, there are more than that also. Then we have to introduce a few more very familiar materialities. There are 5 translucent kalapas: Chakku Pasara, eye translucency; Soda Pasara, ear translucency; Kana Pasara, no translucency; Jihma Pasara, tongue translucency; Kaya Pasara, body translucency. So these are also called sensitivity. So many translators, they use eye sensitivity, ear sensitivity like this. But here Pasara means translucence. That's why we just say eye translucency and so on. So we have already talked about different sense doors and different objects. For example, eye translucency. The eye can see only the visible one. That means visible objects, the color, the shape will impinge on the eye translucency. Then it will produce, if there's a contact between objects and sense doors, there will be eye consciousness. So we can understand these as a package. Whenever there's a eye contact, the visible object, eye translucency, when these things can work together, there will be eye consciousness. Of course, if there's all these base or sense base, the object, the contact, consciousness, there's also feeling. This is the normal. Okay, the main thing is that this eye translucency is also very important factors to see the object. Then similarly, we have ear translucency. So it can hear the sound or even object. There will be contact between the object and the sense doors and the mind. Then there's also feeling. So this is also Sotapassada. Last night also I think I have already talked about it, right? I can see but cannot hear. Ear can hear but cannot see. They have respective door for respective object, cannot change. They are fixed. Similarly, no translucency. So we can smell something if our no translucency is good. But there will be contact between object and mind, that there will be feeling. They are as package. Then similarly, time translucency, we can taste, we can know the taste, we can experience the taste. Then there will be the flavor, time translucency. There's also time consciousness. There's also contact, right, between all the things. Then there will be feeling. Actually, many other mental factors will arise together at the same times. Then body translucency. We can feel sensation when somebody touch or when we touch with something. This is the nature of translucency. So we have 5 translucency. Then we have 2 more. There's a 4 or 7. Vana, kala, sada, sound, gandha, smell, rasa, taste. But here it doesn't mention, and I didn't mention tangible object. That's why I just say 4 or 7. But tangible object is a earth element, fire element, and wind element. These 3 are called tangible objects. So tangible object will represent 3 elements. That's why if we say object, 5 sense object, there will be 7 materialities. So earth element, fire element, wind element will be 2 times. That's why we omit that one. That's why I say only 4. So vana, color, or shape. This is very clear. We don't need to explain very much in detail. Similarly, sound. We may have many different types of sound. Sound may find living beings, sound produced by natural things. Then whatever sounds, okay, we can hear. Similarly, smell. We may have good smell or bad smell. Whatever smell, this is the smell, very clear. We don't need to explain too much. The taste, of course, we may have different tastes, right? We don't need to explain too much. Okay, the main thing is the color can impinge in the eye door. That means eye translucency. The sound can impinge in ear translucency. Then the smell can impinge on nose translucency. The flavor, the taste can impinge on tongue translucency. But for tangible object, earth element, fire element, and wind element can impinge on body translucency. Then we can know it. We can see it, we can hear, we can smell, we can taste. These are the nature of objective rupa. So mostly when we talk about bases, you may also have a known internal base and an external base. For example, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, these are internal. The color, sound, smell, taste, tangible objects are external. Mostly we understand like that. So that means whenever we talk about internal base and external base, we may remember like this. But in reality, color also can be inside our body. Smell, taste, sound also, right, can be inside our body. Okay, these are the nature of external base or the nature of sense object, objective materialities. Then we should move to the next two. Iti bhava, female side materialities. Purisa bhava, male side materialities. There are two. Okay, practically now we can see in this group, male and female together. Different appearance, different shape, different body structure. So it make by such materialities. So that means there will be many different roles in the community also, right? Not only that, the feature, structure, behavior, even speaking, the voice, different. So all the things are determined by or made by such materialities. Then another thing is that we also have like different preference, right? Different lifestyle. All the things are made by bhavarupas. Even, right, the style of movement, the voice, even laughing or smiling, it will be different, right? So these are determined by bhavarupa, some materialities. So one more thing here I should introduce. For example, 4 elements, it will be everywhere, right? But for about 5 translucency, see, they are produced by karma. We have good insights, poor insights, right? Produced by karma. Of course, nutriment is also one of the supporting cause. If we have good nutriment, we can maintain our insights, right? If we know how to protect our eyes so we can see clearly. Similarly, nose, tongue, body, all the translucency are produced by karma. Now, similarly, subtleties. These two are also produced by karma. Then, you may have many questions, right? Now, many also female also change to male. Then many male also change to female. How to do? Right? We have many different ways, right? Different changing. When karma ripen, nobody can say, nobody can protect, right? Even at the time of the Buddha, they have that kind of changing. No operation, not by medical doctor, right? Special surgeon, naturally change. That means some bhikkhu change to female, become bhikkhuni. Some bhikkhuni become male, become bhikkhu. We have long explanation about this. It's really happened at the time of the Buddha. We can find in Vinaya. If some bhikkhu change to female, how he must continue his life. If, for example, a determination, right? Determining rope, right? If a bhikkhu change to female, he become bhikkhuni. So she must determine all her rope again. Right? So that there are some special system to follow new rule and regulation for. Like we can say, how about this one? This is called transgender, right? Right? Then this is the way to follow. Similarly, a bhikkhuni become a male, he must follow like bhikkhu rule. Then similarly, he or she must determine all his rope again. There are some rule and regulation for that kind of event. Anyway, the main thing is that kind of thing also can happen at the time of the Buddha. I don't know which year. Maybe around year 2006 or 2007. Right? We have one very big news spread all over Myanmar. Also, this also happened in capital, Yangon. Then people are very interested. One, I think around 23 years old girl, naturally changed to male. So she had to change all her ID and everything. Firstly, he did not talk to his parents. He just talked to his elder sister. I've already changed that kind of thing. So her elder sister informed to the parents. Finally, spread the news. That really happened. Right? Okay. Anyway, when the karma ripen, it will change. So this is a karma produce materialities. Okay? We cannot say no. Right? Okay, now a few more steps we have to continue. That is three more rupas, Haryavatu, Chidyanidya, and Gabrikarahara. Haryavatu means heart base or heart materialities. Actually, although we say heart materialities, in the text it mentioned it arises in the blood, in the heart. So this is the nature of heart materialities. Then we also have one statement. This is also called mind-do. The mind can rest in the heart base. Then we have another one, Jividendriya, life faculties. So life faculty also one of the special factors that sustains the lifespan of co-arising mental phenomena or materialities. So that means all the materialities will arise and perish very rapidly. I have already mentioned before. Even just I just show the nature of impermanent, right? With animation. So I have already mentioned mentality are 70 times faster than materialities. Okay, we can also say other way, another way. That means materiality, rupas are 70 times slower than mentality. So within lifespan, horizon state, before horizon state, there's some time to like the standing stage. After that, horizon stage. So life faculty will maintain all these conditions. From horizon state to horizon stage, it will maintain the lifespan of all coexisting materialities or co-horizon materialities. Again here, Haryavatu life faculties and also two entity, Haryavatu half phase and life faculty are also produced by karma. So when we have good karma, then we can maintain our lifespan, right? Our life faculty becomes strong. Then, okay, the last one is about nutriment, or nutritive essence. Kablikara hara. Okay, here we just say Kablikara means mouth food or moza food, right? Moza food. Kabla means actually mouth food. We eat every mouthful. Actually, the mouthful is all the food is not nutriment, right? There's some nutrient essence from that food. There's other waste, right? Waste will come out. Nutrient will remain in the body. That is why we call Gabalikara hara. That means it comes from mouthful or the food. Then it also can sustain all other materialities in the body. Okay, one more thing here. When we say Gabalikara, nutriment or nutrient essence, in every single kalapas, there's a nutriment. So we have already mentioned before, right? 4 elements will be in every single kalapas. Not only that, there will be the color, the smell, the taste. So 4 elements, color, smell, taste. Finally, due to the essence. Altogether, 8. This 8 will arise in every single particles. In every single small particles, in every single material, then there will be these 8. So among these 8, the nutriment can sustain coexistent materialities again. Then it also comes from food, the food we eat. Right? That's why it will produce nutrient essence and it will produce more rupaklapas, more materialities. Then, okay, briefly. So we already mentioned, can you calculate 4 elements? After that, 5 transiency, then 4 objectives, then 2 materialities, half materialities, and life faculties, nutrient essence. Altogether, 18 materialities. These 18 are called Riya Rupa or concrete Rupa. Then we also can say another way. When we are going to contemplate materiality as anicca, dukkha, anatta, so we must know these materialities. So they are also called samasana rupa. Samasana means contemplation. You may have already known this one, samasana jnana in vipassana. Right? When we say anicca, dukkha, anatta. So in the samasana jnana, when we are going to contemplate as anicca, dukkha, anatta, we must discern, we must contemplate all these materialities. There will be many different grouping, in many different doors, many different klapas. For example, in the eye doors, we have group of materialities. In the ear doors, also we have group of materialities. Nose door, tongue door, body door, mind door. Then, if you have knowledge about Power Doya tradition, you may also have known 42 body parts. Mostly people are very familiar with 32 body parts, but not very familiar with 42 body parts, right? Anyway, we can find 42 body parts in Rahula Vada Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya. Then sometimes people also misunderstand. This is created by Paul Sayadaw. Actually, no, it's not Paul Sayadaw version. It's Buddha version. He talked to his only son, Venerable Rahula. We can find 42 body parts there. Okay, the main thing is we have to discern these materialities in all the sense doors, every single body part. We also can contemplate that as anicca, dukkha, anatta. That's why they are also called samasana rupa. Then we have to move the next groove. So, in this group, we should introduce very beginning as unconcrete rupa or unreal rupa. They are not the subject or the object of vipassana. One more thing here. When we are going to discern rupas, materialities, like rupa parikaha, then we have to discern all the rupas. For example, akasa dhatu, space element. So sometimes people also say, the Buddha didn't talk about rupa klapas. Why Paul Sayadaw do this kind of things? Then one more thing here, space element. Okay, here I can show my palms. No space, it's solid. If there's a space, it becomes 5. Space means boundary, limitary. So it defines the boundary between materialities, between the klapas. There's a space. Without space, we cannot know the particles. That's why space also one of the materialities. So from time to time, when the Buddha talk about elements, as we have known 4 elements in very common, but from time to time, the Buddha also use 5 elements. As we have known, earth element, water element, fire element, one element, space element. Sometimes we can also find 6 elements plus mind element. So if we calculate 6, right? For example, earth element, water element, fire element, one element. After that, space element, mind element. Altogether 6. So when we say akasa dhatu, then there must be boundary, there will be limitation, there will be gaps between two or three. This is called space. So these are based on, a space is based on concrete materialities, Riya Rupa. Without kalpas, we cannot know the boundaries. Without boundary, you cannot know the kalpas. That's why they are space, depending on space. Then we also have many different types of space according to Buddha teaching. For example, when we talk about akasa, achatakasa, that means untangled space or open space. That's the space about us, right? Then we can also say achatakasa like untouchable, we cannot touch. Right? Then there's a total space, we cannot touch with anything. That's called achatakasa. Another thing is parichinakasa. Parichinakasa is also, we can understand like the wall, there's a hole. Then we also have the window or the door. There's also space, right? Then this space is also called parichinakasa. The another one is kasinukati magasa. This is in the boundless space, jhana. Removing one of the kasina objects, we have to focus on boundless space. This is called kasinukati magasa. Another thing is parichedakasa, space between material particles. That means among many particles, there will be space. Then this is called parichedakasa. Okay, now when we are going to talk about akasa dhatu, this is parichedakasa. The space or the gaps between material particles. Then we have to move the next two. This is called vinyati. Kaya vinyati, body intimation. Vaci vinyati, bhava intimation. These two are also unconcrete materialities. We can also say unreal materialities. Okay, one more thing for your information, right? When Buddha also say, walking as a walking, sitting as a sitting, standing as a standing, speaking as a speaking, right? Buddha had already said that kind of thing in Mahasatipatthana Sutta. Then, kaya vinyati, body intimation, is not the object of anicca dukkha anatta. These are not the subject of vipassana. Of course, when we are discerning ultimate reality, we have to know all the things. When we are going to contemplate as anicca dukkha anatta, these are not the subject. Then people also get confused. What also says, standing as standing, walking as walking. If we know walking as walking, this is also vipassana. How many times have you ever known this kind of statement? I think many of teachers also say the same, right? Okay, here I should introduce body intimation first. Body intimation is produced by mind. How the mind produces? Actually, the mind will produce the wind will produce the movement. That's the nature of body intimation. So that means when we are walking, many of rupas will arise in different places. Right? They will arise. Many rupas will arise in the same place. After that, when we move, many rupas will arise in different places, changing places, forced by the wind. This is called body intimation. Then we also have one type of practice, carrying rupas and being carried rupas. When we are walking, when elements predominant, mind produce materialities will carry all other karma produce, mind produce, temperature produce, nutrient produce materialities, pushing them to move forward, to rise in different places. This is called, okay, if we say easier way, when elements predominant, mind produce materialities are carrying, but all other materialities are carried by the materialities. This is called walking. So if we can know carrying rupas and being carried rupas, we can do anicca dukkha anatta. We are not descending movement. We are just descending, carrying rupas and being carried rupas. So sometimes we just read one sutta and just hold the sutta and then say, no, Buddha said like this. Why we have to do very messy things, very complicated things, right? That kind of things also can happen in many, many places. Even last year, I think some yogi here asked me some question about walking as a walking, standing as a standing, just focus all the daily activities, daily movement, right? At the time, I also have a very clear answer. If somebody have known this one, they may remember. For example, a hunter will go to hunt, but when he can find a victim, like a deer or any animal, then he may aim at the animal very mindfully, right? In his mind, he also knows he's aiming, targeting, but he shoots. He also knows he's shooting. Then, how will be? Kusala or akusala? Okay, similarly, a fisherman will go for fishing. He will prepare the net. And he also knows that preparing. Then, okay, in the river or in the lake or somewhere, he will throw all the net into the water. He also do mindfully, right? Throwing. Then he will pull it back mindfully, pulling. Then it's the kusala or akusala. So that means if we just focus on kaya vinyati, body intimation, in our vipassana, it's not the object of vipassana. That's why they are called unreal rupa and concrete rupa, not subject for anicca dukkha anatta. Why is it called kaya vinyati? Because of our behavior, people can know our desire, our intention. For example, when we say like this, when we show our hand, right, shaking like this, they can know there's nothing, right? When we show our hand, then we come, right? Because this is kind of movement can make people understand our desire, our wish, our intention. That's what we call vinyati. It let people know our desire. For daily communication, we need good behavior, right? I already mentioned this is also produced by minds. When we have bad mind, we have bad behavior. Kaya vinyati, we can know how bad it is. Right? When we have good mind, we have good behavior. Kaya vinyati. We can know our behavior. We can see how is our mind. So in our daily life, we have to communicate with many people. Then we must be careful our kaya vinyati, right? The another thing is vaji vinyati, bhava animation. So vaji vinyati also very clear. It comes from our voice. Whenever we do vaji vinyati, there must be voice, right? Without voice, we cannot say vaji vinyati. We cannot say speaking. So the voice also produces minds. Earth element predominance, mind produces materialities, and also earth element predominance, karma produces materialities. So, two earth elements strike each other. It will produce the sound from the vocal cords. Okay, one more thing here, right? I also have mentioned Kamsa Kalapas. Earth elements predominant Kamsa Kalapas. Strike with earth element predominance, Chitta Chaklapas. Let me, Kama and then Chitta, combine together. Then we have different voice, right? Different voice. The voice is produced by mind. But we also have partly Kamsa Kalapas, right? There are some people, their voice is very nice. Very sweet. There are some people, their voice is very ugly, very bad. That means karma powers are not so strong. Around the vocal cord maybe, right? Then, okay, briefly, vaji vinyati also, people can know our inner desire according to our voice, our tone. Sometimes you may speak very politely, very softly. Then people also can say, oh, he's very kind, very good. Then if you use very, very high tone, right? If you use very high tone, people can know what happened in your mind. Very bad, very rude, right? That means according to our tone, that means how low, how high, people can also know our mind. That's called vaji vinyati. Again, here again, we also say, this is also unconcrete materialities. This is not the object of anicca dukkha anatta. So Buddha also says, speaking as a speaking. In Mahasvitana Sutta. How can we know? How can we practice this one? Of course, if we can know Kamsa Klapas and Chitta Klapas, earth element of these two strike each other, the voice produce. If we can know all the things, of course we can do anicca dukkha anatta. We can know what we can call this speaking as a speaking. Okay, these are the unconcrete materialities in our daily life. Then there are also many other conditions we have. Okay, I should continue, right? Little by little. Lahuta, Mudutta, Kamanyata. Lahuta means lightness. Actually, it can be produced by mind, temperature, and nutriment. For example, our body becomes very light when we are very happy. Lightness produced by mind. Similarly, weather, temperature also can produce lightness. Nutriment also can produce lightness. Similarly, mudita, flexibility or softness. If we say flexibility, this is also produced by mind, temperature, and nutriment. Now the kamanyata, widiness. We can also say readiness, right? So this also produced by chitta, then also have temperature and nutriment. So whenever we move or we do something, when our mind is happy, our body is flexible, very light and ready. When our mind is not ready, and then everything will be unsmooth, right? Similarly, when the weather is good, that when we have good nutriment, that our body can be flexible. So these are also unconcrete materialities. They are not the subject of vipassana, anicca, dukkha, anatta. Okay, now we have the last part of 28 materialities today. Okay, we can also say 4. The first one is upajjaya, sandati, jarada, anicca. So upajjaya also means generation. We can also say initial arising of materialities. This is called upajjaya. Especially in our mother's womb, when we arise, the first mind moment, the first materialities, you can say upajjaya. Then also in our daily life, we also have another types, sandati, continuity. That means successive arising of materialities. So that means whole life keep rising of all the materialities. This is called sandati. Then jarada, aging. Okay, we can also say maturation, or called jarada. But here in this case, jarada doesn't mean mature or maturation. It just means the stage of materialities. Okay, we can say easier way: arising stage, standing stage, perishing stage. There are 3 stages of mentalities and materialities. So now every rupa, they will arise and they will exist for some times. After that, they will perish. So sanity is equal to arising stage. Jarada is equal to standing stage. Finally, anicca, impermanent. Actually, if we say anicca, this is also called perishing stage. So every rupas, they will arise, stand and perish. So that means they don't have full lifespan of materialities. Right? For example, sanity will be only arising stage. Then chada will be only standing stage. Anicca will be only perishing stage. So I have already mentioned, rupas will last longer than nama. That means 70 times, right, longer than Nama. But here, Jarata, only a rising state of Rupa, it does not last 70 mind moments. Similarly, Jarata also not 70 mind moments. Anicca also not 70 mind moments. That's when they are called non-concrete or unconcrete materialities, unreal materialities. Then they are not the object of vipassana, anicca dukkha anatta. There will be some conditions in Bhanga Jnana. We cannot know the arising stage and standing stage. We just know variation stage. This is a special condition for vipassana, only for mature level, not for beginner. Okay. Now, today we just finished 28 types of materialities. Now, the last 10, okay, here we share Akasa Dhatu, 2 Vinyati, after that 2 characteristics, 4 characteristics, 3, right? 3, 1, another 4 characteristics of Rupa, altogether 10 unconcrete materialities or 10 unreal materialities. So we have 18 concrete materialities, real materialities, 10 unconcrete materialities, altogether 28 materialities. There will be different grouping, different arisings, but maybe I have to continue tomorrow, right? So today I will stop here. May you all be able to practice 3 trainings, and may you all be able to realize by cessation and not suffering. Last night, the net cut off, so I have to stop. But today also not sure. This afternoon I'm sending all the file, my slideshow, right? Little cut off. Wi-Fi also cut off.
Just the benefits of to the pets.
Right? Number if they feel happy, okay, it will benefit angry, you're gonna know what of it. Right? That may benefit. Okay. No question on this also. Okay. A bit, right? Okay. Right? It was For example, like a Devadanusati, divine quality, right? But for example, you may have confidence, trying to recall, have that kind of confidence, right? Similarly, you may have morality, recall, generosity, but you can recall it. Then learning knowledge, Dhamma knowledge, you can recall, right? Similarly, you also have like wisdom, you can also recall. Then it will be easier to motivate yourself. A Chinese question.
Vandami Sayadaw, in the Chakutwara Vichi, all the mind moments, where do they arise?
Okay. So that means activity, I consciousness will arise, I do, or other entities, mind movement will arise in the mind door. Okay?
Know the chitta, vinyan, know the sanya, so know the object, and we panya also know object. Chitta is combination and and together in time of display.
Sanyana, Vinyana, right? It will be easier for you to show here, right? Sanya, Panya, Vinya. Sanya, Banyana, Vinyana. Okay, let me see. I have already answered this question before, so. Right? I have already showed the difference between all the three. This is it. This is the Maniskara. Okay. Sanya, Panya, or Vinyana. Okay, here. Right? Three different, right? Perception, Sanya, is a mental function that recognizes levels and and remembers objects. It marks them as a good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant, and help us recognize familiar experiences, like a child who sees gold and recognize its color but does not understand the value. Consciousness, Vijnana, Chitta is the basic awareness that simply know the presence of an object, whether it is sight, sound, thoughts, or any other mental or physical phenomenon. It's like a villager who knows there's a goal but has not deep understanding of its properties or worth. Wisdom, Panya, is the faculty of clear understanding, insight, or discernment. It penetrates the true nature of things, such as understanding, impermanent, suffering, and non-self. It's like a goldsmith who not only know the gold, but also understand its quality, purity, and value. Okay? This is the difference between three.
Vietnamese Sayadaw, it is a question. Since the Nama and Rupa, especially Rupa, arising and perishing, so how does a meditator during the practice of Vipassana still can see the past Rupa which has already perished long ago?
Past Rupa in the long ago?
Means those Rupa which
Okay.
has perished long ago.
Okay, one more thing, right? This is a power of concentration. You cannot imagine, right? How is he? For example, you have done something wrong in the very long times ago. When you recall, you can still remember. Right? So this is the power of the mind. You cannot say, how is it beer? Right? Why is it beer? You cannot say. Okay, similarly, this power of concentration, then for example, descend the past lives, past causes. Because this is also the power of concentration. Right? We cannot imagine how it happened. Okay then. Any question now?
There's question on Zoom. How do we apply on the Abhidhamma theory to our meditation practice in general? I mean, before we can see the Kalabas.
Okay. Actually, if we say easier way, we can apply all the Abhidhamma knowledge for self-awareness. We have already talked about agusala, chitta, jirsika. What kind of agusala mind do you have daily life? If you can remember, you also know how you can also find the solution how to overcome it. This is the one thing, right? About mentalities. Okay, now today we talk about materialities. For example, kaya vinyati, vaci vinyati. Body intimation, bhava intimation. This is also about behavior. If we know what kind of body intimation we make every day, what kind of intimation we make every day, we got to change. Ideally, we can apply all the Abhidhamma knowledge for self-awareness in our daily life. If we can do better than that also, of course, it's more effective. You know? No more question again? Okay. This time we can share merit, right? Okay. Etawada ja'amehi Sambadam punya sambadam Sabbe deva numodandu Sabbe buddha numodandu Sabbe satta numodandu Sabba sambati siriya Idame nyadinam hodu Sukhita hondu nyadayo